Hello gang, hello friends, hello gang friends. Welcome back, thanks for joining me today. Shall we do some flutterbys? You remember from the last video, hi, how are you? You okay? You remember from the last video, just jumping straight in, that we swatched these and I just haven't been able to stop thinking about them. So we're going to do something with some of them today. We're going to start with Bunny Bliss, and I filmed it a bit differently. Normally I'll do one whole nail and then the next whole nail, but whilst something was in the lamp, I worked on the next one. So it's a bit all over the place, but it's coherent, I think. And then we're taking, what did that say? Tidal Glow, I believe. So we're doing one full pink, one full blue, and I'm going to do 2 coats. And then I'm going to do an ombre here. So I'm going to do half in pink and then half in blue. I know a lot of people now tend to, I say a lot of people, some videos I've seen on Reels or whatever, do like the whole nail in one colour and then cure it and then put the next colour on and fade it down. I do it a bit differently. I do like that way sometimes, but it depends on which colours you're using. So I thought I'll just do this wet. So I'm just using my Ombre Brush and just going side to side. This is a really rough one because I'm using it as a base for Blush Twinkle, wait till you see these, and April Showers. I just thought I'd put a base down because I thought maybe I'll just do 1 coat of the cat eyes, but I ended up doing 2 coats. So you probably wouldn't need to put a base down, but I just thought, I don't know. You know, I just thought I'd put a mat down before sitting on the grass. Does that make sense? No. So we're going to do the same with these 2 colours using the Ombre Brush. Just a swipey swipe. And this was really easy because the cat eyes in this collection they've all got the same bits of stuff in. You know? All got the same, it's got like this, stop it now. Imagine they've got the cat eye base, all the glowy, shimmery, these bits. And then they've just added pink to one and blue to one, and there's a purple and there's a green and yellow. So it's got the same foundation. What's the word I'm looking for? I know the word. The same, look at that. So I brought out the zhuzh. I did do 2 coats, but they've got the same thingamajig. Formula is the word. So that they blended really well because they're kind of the same anyway, apart from the colour. You know, I think you know what I mean. If you don't, I apologise sincerely. And then I'm doing another ombre. We're going to leave this plain, so I'm doing 2 coats of this. So this next one, this is the 2nd coat. So I'm going to be a little bit more precise, but still not worry too much because I was so hungry that I was really trying to get through this quickly. I did not manage to get through it quickly, but I was sort of thinking more about food than anything else. So just doing swipes and then wiping my brush before starting from a different section, you know, because it's got all stuff on it now. So we need to wipe it off before we start again. I let that sit for a little bit. And I might have faffed around with it a bit more, maybe off camera. And then we're going to matte everything. These you want to matte now. I don't think you need to matte the others yet. Well, no, you don't. So ignore the fact that they're matte, because we don't need to do that yet. But I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. So now on the blue one, we're taking the pink and we're going to do butterfly. So we're going to do an L that's kind of falling forward, you know, it's a bit sleepy, it's falling down, and then join the top and the bottom together with a curve. And then we'll try and do similar we're going off the page. I regret doing that, so maybe keep it all on the page or just do half a wing. Yeah, half a wing going from like the left side of one nail and the right side on the other, then they can join up. Why didn't I do that? That would be better. So we've done our top ones and then the bottom ones. I'm really crap at doing butterflies. I think because the bottom wings, do butterflies have two lots of I don't know, but I should have joined them up to the top wings, and I should have made the point in the middle of where all the wings meet. I should have done it better and made it more all in the same place, because I think my body ends up ruining it where I try to cover the mishmash of where all the meeting points are. And then oh no, I hope this isn't going to be one where I'm just talking gibberish the whole time. It is 2:15 in the morning, which I always use as an excuse to why I might not be making much sense. So we're going to do the same on the pink, but with the blue. Again, should have done it just one half of a butterfly or got the whole thing on, only because of the thing we're about to do in the future. We'll worry about that when we get there. And then I'll fill in the wings with these. This brush is the Ultra Liner brush. It's like my go-to, kind of can do anything with it. You know, can fill bits in like this, although maybe like the petal brush might be better for that. But this one was in my hand. So yeah, you can do thin lines, thick lines, fill stuff in. I kind of use it for most things. And then we'll cure these. So again, I wouldn't bother matting them at this point. Like we've already matte them. Just ignore that, okay? Don't do it, because we're going to matte again a bit later. I just wasn't thinking ahead, I don't think. So now on each of them, I'm going to take the cat eyes and sort of fade it into the wing, but then I get a bit carried away, especially on the blue one, because I'm painting it and thinking this is so pretty, and just adding more and more. Just bring in a bit more, bring in a bit more. Oh, now it's not a fade, but that's fine. And then we will zhuzh each wing before we do the next one. So I'll zhuzh this. Is there a term for that? Zhuzhing? I mean, I know zhuzh is a word, but what's the word for magnetize? Magnetize? Use the there needs to be, we need to invent a word. Suggestions in the comments, please. A new word for it. And then, so cured that before moving on to the next one, just so that I could zhuzh each one separately and give it its full potential zhuzhing, you know. If I'd have done it all together, then you wouldn't get the most out of each section. How is everybody? You okay? I'm in so much pain right now. I've done something to my hand, my left hand, which is quite troublesome. One, because it really hurts. But two, I'm a lefty, so I can't really do anything. I was trying to chop cherry tomatoes in half earlier using a very sharp knife in my non-dominant hand. Couldn't hold the cherry tomato still with my left hand because any pressure on it whatsoever is agony. I don't know what I've done, but something's not right. So kind of trying to just chop it really quickly so it doesn't move. It was quite eventful, but I did have a rather scrummy Cuban prawn pasta for dinner. What was I saying? I'm in pain. I hope you're well. I'm sorry some of you missed the live. I'm doing the same on the blue. Can you see? You can see. I'm sorry some of you missed the live. I gave absolutely zero warning, not just to you, but to myself as well. Oh, so I tried a thing. I matted it all. Went over it in white gel paint, cured the gel paint, then chromed it. And then thought, no, my lines weren't thin enough. And I didn't like it, so I had to file it off and buff everything. So just ignore that, but I thought I'd show you anyway. It's an option. You would have wanted to matte, preferably a chrome repellent matte, and then added your gel paint, because the Madame Glam gel paints, when they cure, they take chrome. So then add those, cure, add your chrome, and then move on from there. but I didn't like the way it was going. So we filed it off, had to reapply some of the Cateye where I'd filed it off. Don't think I reapplied enough on the pink. But now we're going around it in black using the black gel paint. I love their gel paints. Oh, guess what? You can get a whopping 30% off at Madame Glam using the link in the description and the code MISSJO30. Save the link, save it in your notes or something, and then use that whenever you go to Madame Glam, for my benefit, but also for your benefit, so you can get 30% off. I love a saving. Love a saving. I could be a multi-millionaire and I would still love a saving. I would still spend a week and a half trying to find the best price on any purchase over £50. Right, we've outlined and we've done some lines from the centre of the wing going out, and then we're just going to curve in between each line like this, so that we get that little bit, the black area where we can put some white dots in a bit. I really feel like I fudged these up, but I think it's one of those things with anything in life. You know, once you've done it once, you can then look at it and go, okay, next time I would do this different, that different, this different. You know, so I would have done just half a big blue wing, half a big pink wing, or had them pinky blue ombre wings, one on each, so that when you put two nails together they joined up. And then what would you do with the body? Would you have a body, half a body on each nail? Or I would have done, like I said earlier, made sure both of the wings in full were on there because of a step that's coming up. So there's lots of little things, but that is just how you learn, isn't it? 99% of the time when I'm editing, I'm thinking, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? But at the time, you're not really, well, I'm not obviously thinking, just doing. And hindsight is 2020. But the good thing is, I can tell you my hindsight thoughts, so that you can do it better than what I did. My black lines are too thick. I think I was mostly concentrating on trying to paint whilst I was so hungry. You know, you get so hungry that you suddenly feel weak and shaky. I was feeling weak and shaky. I've sped this up because we don't want to watch two of the same thing over and over at normal speed. But yeah, I was just a bit shaky, but knew if I went downstairs and had something to eat, I wouldn't be asked to come back upstairs and sit down again. I think another thing that you could do differently, where I've got my bottom wings completely separate from the top wings, I maybe would have used the bottom of the top, the bottom of the top wing as the top of the bottom wing, and just brought out, you know, the bottom wings are kind of like a diamond, just done 3 sides of the diamond instead of, you know, yeah. We've added a body, just a dot, and then just some pressure as you push down and then lift off. Oh, hang on. Oh, this I'm sure I speed up. Did I speed the other one up? Don't really know. I'm looking at the screen, but I'm not paying any attention. Yeah, the body, did a dot, and then put a bit more product on my brush, and just under the dot, press down so you apply more product, but not too thick, more in a width, you know, more weight, and then pull down and wisp off for the body. And then I thought, oh, does it look too black? All this black on these nice pretty, you know, spring colours, which is the Secret Garden collection. Did I say that at the beginning? It's really nice. They've got creme colours and then little matching companion sparkly Cateye colours. It's so cute. I've actually got the May collection already, so I need to plan what to do with it. I had an idea and I thought I'll put it on a note. See, here we go with the body, dot, I'm going to press down and lift up. Just let it wisp off. But now the wings look all disjointed, and why are they, you know, it's awful. It's not awful, but it's not the best. What was I saying? Oh yes, the new collection. I thought I'll make a note of this, then thought, don't be silly, you'll remember. No, did not remember. Okay, so now we're matting. So don't mat until now. Didn't need to do any matting. But I had wiped and buffed and filed and then pre-mat before and blah, blah, blah. So just do everything normal until then and then mat. And then we can take the white gel paint. So this white gel paint, if we'd done it before matting, it would still be bright white because it is super bright white. But it would lose a bit of something. It would lose its edge. And this way it stays super bright. And it cures tack free, so you don't need to wipe it or anything. So we're going to add some little dots there. Should have used a dotting tool. And everything is in arm's reach whilst I'm sat at my desk. But even then, it's just, is it laziness or is it just trying, I don't know. This brush is already out. So instead of reaching an extra 12 centimetres, I'll just use this one. But I think a dotting tool might have been better, the really tiny one. And then start with a bigger dot with the, when you put your dotting tool in the paint, I like to dot a bit off first, just dot on your palette just to take off the big blob. And then the more you dot, the smaller the dots get because there's the less and less product on the end of the tool. Okay, curing that. And now we're taking this. Oh, this is good. This is new, the art gel. And this is perfect for what we're about to do now. I'm going to take a bead or just a little blob. And here I'm going to hold it at the top and just wiggle it around a bit. I want to try and make it a circle or a ball. I'm lifting up. I'm lifting directly up to make it as tall as possible where we start. And then bringing it down and letting it thin out towards the center. And I'm going to flash cure each of these before moving on to the next one, like 20 seconds maybe. 10 will probably do. And then if you move on to one that's not right next to it, then when we cure this one, the other first one's going to have even more of a cure. So it'd be better to do it that way. Go next to something that's had as many times in the lamp as possible, as I go right next to one that's just been in the lamp for 10 seconds, but it's fine. But that would be the advice I would give myself. So this is why I wanted to get all of the wings on there, because I want to start with a bead and bring it thin towards the center. But as some of the wing is going off the nail, do I start with a big bead, you know, that's not right at the start of the outside of the wing, not at this bit here? So I kind of messed up there. So again, I'm putting a bead on and then wiggling it in a circle a bit and lifting it up to make that circle really tall. Don't worry that it's super tall, because we're then going to stretch it out towards the center, so it will soften it a bit. But that is where you want the highest point anyway. Do you see what I mean? Now my beads, the tall bits, are technically off the page, but I'm making them on the page. So we'll do that. We'll do it on the pink one as well. This gel is really good for this sort of thing. Also good for puffy nails. Mix it with a little bit of colour and you can do your puffy stuffs. Good for bling, because I think it cures tack free. It didn't feel tacky. You might want to give it a bit of a wipe, just, I don't know, just to be on the safe side. Safe side of what? I don't know. It's not sticky when it cures. It doesn't have an inhibition layer that needs wiping, but sometimes I like to give things a wipe anyway. But also it's good for, we're going to use it for Baccarat, which we're going to do in a min, and we're also going to use it for like a gem gel, which is nice because it's we're whizzing through this. This was horrible to edit. Because it does cure tack free and it's quite thick, so that when you put it on, the gems aren't sliding around all over the place whilst you're finishing your crystal placement. Here's our little flutterby's. A little bit, trying to show you they're a little bit raised. And then the Cateye obviously sparkling through. Yeah, when I filed off the chrome on the blue one, on the pink butterfly, the blue nail, I think I filed off too much of the pink Cateye and perhaps didn't apply more of it. But I was just kicking myself at that point because I thought the plan was to go black. Then thought, oh, chrome would look amazing. Yeah, got it on there, got the chrome on, realised not amazing. Really annoyed at myself because I was, again, super hungry. Do you remember the whole Peshwari naan? It was one of those kind of, it was a Peshwari naan moment. If you don't remember that, you're going to wonder what the heck I'm talking about. And now we're using it to, I've decanted some, I don't know why. Well, because I like to wipe my brush sort of as I'm going. I just thought it would be easier to wipe it on the palette than on, and then get it all around the lid of the tub, the pot. So I did the first curve with this, and then I cured it or flash cured it, and then I do one either side and then cure those, one either side of those, cure those, because we want to go as close as possible to each other. But where I was putting it on and it was bringing all the sparkliness was coming through the shiny bits, couldn't really see where I was going, like if I was going close enough or not, and I don't think I was, but it does still look quite cute, and I did have a much better pattern in mind, but hunger. So my stomach was like, don't you dare try and do something funky here, just get some stuff on so we can eat. So I just did curves. This bit kind of ended up in a bit of a V. Wasn't the plan, but not to worry. Why didn't I make these full butterfly wings, you ask? I don't know. Didn't think to. But look at that. All the sparkliness coming through. So pretty. So I just one going one way, and I was letting the product sort of fall off the brush onto the nail and then stretching it out. So not pressing the brush onto the nail and painting it, but more just, yeah, sort of dropping it onto the nail, balancing the brush so that it wasn't touching the nail, and then just stretching it out. But again, flash cure after each one. And now we are adding some of this art gel again for some bling, and I'm terrible at trying to get the right shape and amount of this stuff on for putting bling on. I never put enough on, so I thought I'll put a bit more on. And I still don't think it was enough. I had to add more. These crystals are from Shein, I want to say. Just big grids. Remember? Grids. Big grids of different colour and size crystals. And then I'm going to put some caviar beads amongst everything, which I've just sped up a lot because I hate editing. And caviar beads? Not a fan of editing caviar beads. And it sounds really silly. Why would it be different in any other kind of editing? It is. It's horrible. I hate it. And I am going to do an editing video soon. I'm also going to do an updated foil gel video, because Madame Glam have the foil gel now, so I think we need to start getting into foils again. So here we are putting on caviar beads, the little bastards. Oh, guess what? Got an email from Karina, my lady at Madame Glam, and she said, I saw your live, and you meant, and I was like, did she, or is she just saying that? Would she really have sat and watched my live? And she was like, oh, you mentioned me. I was like, oh, I did mention you, therefore you did watch it. And I don't know why, but now I'm nervous about her watching. If I wanted to still see the ombre in this on this nail, which is why we've gone up at the sides, or if there's a certain part of your ombre that you're not completely happy with, that's where you put your crystals. Just cover that shit up. Nobody has to know. Or just do it all one colour if you're not a fan of ombres, or the bottom one colour, the top another. Meet them with a curve and then cover the curve with the bling. If you don't like blood, look away now. You have been warned. I have a nail injury. This whole big chunk of skin flapped open. I've tried to put the flap back down onto it, but it was a nail injury, and I hurt myself when I felt like I should tell a grown-up. Sorry, I did warn you, so sorry if you're offended, but you had a warning. But you know, take that as a warning. It's a dangerous job. It's a risky business. I was trying to save a crystal tray from falling off the table, slam my hand down, scuff my finger, crystals everywhere. And there you go. This is the full set. What do you think? Careful they don't fly away. We need a name for the blue and pink, the boy and girl butterfly. So let me know your name suggestions in the comments. Don't forget about the new art gel and the discount code. Come say hello. I love to hear from you. Those cat eyes are bananas. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.